We're also streaming from that SuperTalk Mississippi app and your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. But don't forget about watching us, which you can do on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. And if you love a good concert for a good cause, we got one for you. Joining us is our friend, Richard Greenlee. He's the president owner of Wratchet Entertainment Group, and they're up to some good to help clean up Jackson, which I think we can all get behind. So welcome back, Richard.
Thanks, Rebecca. Good to be here.
It's been a minute. What you been up to? You've been busy bringing concerts and all the great entertainment to Mississippi and beyond?
Trying, doing our best. Got a lot going on.
Is Mississippi your only area, or do you also do events outside of our state? I can't ever remember.
I do stuff everywhere, but since I'm here, most of it's here. But I do a lot in Texas. I do stuff in Houston. I'm doing stuff with Texas A&M University now, and looking at some other stuff as well.
So you're staying busy.
I am.
But always time to give back, and that is what this concert is all about, is giving back and raising some funds for a good cause. So tell us how this came about, how you're partnering with Lockie Ward for Clean Up Jackson.
Yeah, well, I've known Locke for a long time, and, Locke's a realtor here in town. And
we've had him on the show, I think.
Yeah, he has, and it's funny, I'm going to kind of get in the background of this. About a year and a half ago in November, he just got tired of seeing all of the trash and dirt and overflowing streets, and, he's in the real estate business, so honestly, it hurts the real estate market.
Right.
So he started
here in central Mississippi.
Yeah, here in Jackson area, down. And so he started with a rake and a shovel in November, and the movement kind of caught on, and people joined forces, and volunteers came in. And I didn't realize this the other day. He's raised $140,000, since November 2023, and every Friday there's crews all over Jackson cleaning up underpasses, frontage roads. Now they've cleaned up over 250 storm drain gutters, and streets aren't flooding anymore, and it's taken off.
It's crazy too, Richard, what one concerned citizen, what kind of snowball effect that they can have, right? I'm sure, again, he had no idea that it would kind of kick off this little bit of community revolution, if you would say, about cleaning it up. But it goes to show that he wasn't the only one thinking that, right? There was a lot of people who were sitting around kind of wondering, what can we do to help? And sometimes folks just need one person to say, I know it's as easy as grabbing a bag and picking up some trash, but until you see it done, sometimes you think, are we allowed to do that? Can we do that? You absolutely can.
Well, he actually, asked for forgiveness and permission because, I don't say, he had he's out on the interstate, literally on 55, with a police escort with a dump truck trailer, and that's all Department MDOT, and he kind of, I don't want to get into all this, but, you probably would have to have permits and stuff, but he said, I'm not going to stop. MDOT said cease and desist, but he said, I'm going to keep going. But now they work together, and,
And also, too, I think what's surprising, Richard, is for Locke to have raised, 6 figures by now and put it all to good use. Most would be surprised at what it cost to keep a city clean, right? You think, again, and we all play a part in that by not littering, you picking up your trash, leaving things the way they were when you found them, and that goes for any community in Mississippi, not just here locally. But there's also just the everyday kind of thing that, like you said, the leaves and things, and all that takes money.
We have, he has volunteers, but, it takes crews and dump trailers, and, so now he has paid crews and volunteers that come out and do it. And he didn't start raising money. People just started offering. He's got a Venmo account now, and it's a 501c3 set up, 501c3 set up, and it's taken off. And he said something the other day that, I didn't realize. He said he gets a lot of self-actualization out of this because he gets people reaching out on Facebook where kids and neighborhoods have started their own, modeled after him, their own cleanup of their neighborhoods in South Jackson and West Jackson, and they always tag him, and I guess look at him is
inspiration. Once you see someone else can do it and be successful at it, and also how easy it can be, and then being able to take pride in the outcome, right? You think, oh, what does getting a little bit of trash up mean? Well, until you see it, or freshly planted flowers, and what that can do for your mood and all the things. So it's good stuff. So you're going to try to help continue with the fundraising for Clean Up Jackson with this event, correct?
Yes.
So how did y'all partner up?
Well, Locke, I've known him a long time. We've been friends, and he has a childhood friend named Richard Grober, who is the lead singer and founder of a band called Panic Stricken. They are a widespread panic, tribute band that really blew up a few years ago, and I'll tell you that story in a minute. But they're really, really big band now with a following, play all over the place. And Richard Grober followed what Locke was doing, said, "How can I help?" And Locke said, "Great, easy. bring your band here and play a benefit concert. And so Locke called me and said, Richard, will you help me put this on and promote it? I said, absolutely. So we are doing it down at Cathead Distillery, which is a beautiful, gorgeous venue. And we've got it set up very nice with VIP tables and VIP and general admission, something for everyone, food trucks, bars. It's going to be a great event on May the 2nd, and 100% of the proceeds all go to his effort. And I have a 501c3 I produce shows through, and he has one, so everything's tax deductible for any donations or table purchases, and it's going to be a great event.
So that is May 2nd, so that's a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
What time does the event start?
We open gates at 5:30 for those that are downtown that don't want to leave, and the first band, a local Jackson band called Humid Subtropic, that play at Martin's all the time, and Cathead, they play at 7, and then Panic Stricken will play 8:30 to 10.
I'm curious how they got their start. Well, I know how they got their start. I mean, obviously they like Panic the band, but you mentioned there was a story behind it.
Well, Richard really loves Widespread, and they're tribute bands that like they want to play everything. I mean, if anyone's listening to Widespread, they're as good or better than Widespread. They're musicians and they're singing, and so literally they were in Austin, Texas a few years ago because Widespread Panic has a big 2-day event out there. This is after COVID, and they're playing a local club or bar, and John Bell, the lead singer of Widespread, got COVID, had to cancel both shows. So you've got 30,000 Panic fans in Austin saying, what do we do? No. They hear about this local band, and they can't get enough people in the venue.
For them.
And they blew up. And next thing you know, they were getting requests to play everywhere in the country.
That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then they're coming here. Mm-hmm. So how do we get tickets?
At wratchetentertainment.com, that's with a W. Wratchetentertainment.com. You can go right there. It's got all of our events, and you can see the whole layout of the venue and what we have to offer. And $20 GA ticket, it's a $100 VIP.
What do you get for VIP?
You get front row viewing. You get air conditioned, heated restrooms, a big VIP tent, and we have a lot of people like I can't pronounce this right. The Palumo, the restaurant down. I forget. I'm sorry,
Good
I can't.
For you.
Yeah. Anyway. I
ain't want to go try.
But he's doing food for the VIP tent. We've got other local people contributing, so you're going to get food and front row viewing and a air conditioned heated bathroom and a big VIP tent. And
I know that Panic's big on their set list and it being different and kind of like a very Taylor Swift-esque kind of thing. Do they do the same thing, like kind of keep it under the wraps, or do they play a more traditional tribute where you get your favorites? Yeah,
they're going to do all Widespread Panic stuff, anything Panic covers. So it's going to be like going to a Panic show. Again, you don't have to be a Widespread Panic fan to enjoy this event, because it's going to be kind of like my Twilight shows, a very, very social event with different types of music and events. But they're great musicians, both these groups.
When we go and get our tickets
yes.
Over your website, will we see a list of other things that you have going on? You always have the best events. Do you have anything local coming up that we need to put on our calendars?
Not announced yet. I do have one show at Dealing Hall coming up in the fall. I have 2 or 3 things in Oxford this fall around football season. I have something in Oxford in May. I've got 5 or 6 things on the announced right now, and of course, Cathead Jam, which is an Ardenland show and Cathead show. It's going to be the big festival event 1 month later at Cathead Distillery on May 6th and 7th. So this is kind of a lead up to the Cathead Jam.
When it comes to festivals, Richard, what's better, spring or fall, in terms of for people to get out and go? Or I mean both, but what's the prime time of year for festivals? I guess is what I should say.
Spring, in my opinion. I love spring because it's, fall is great and you can get hit or miss weather, but you've got a lot of other things. You've got football, high school and college. You've got all these other things going on. You've got hunting. You've got more outdoor events. Spring is, after you've been inside all winter, you're itching to get outside, and the trees are, blooming and the birds are chirping, and it's a more of a, to me,
people want to get out, stretch their legs,
and do stuff. And spring weather can be great, but it's usually not really cold or really hot. You may have a little rain, but it's not bad. So.
And don't forget, these festivals across the state are usually locally owned and operated, and so it's like supporting a small business when you do that, right, Richard?
Yes, we've got we've got Makers Fest coming up May 9th and 10th down at the 2 museums. It's about Mississippi makers. We have Cathead Jam coming up June 6th and 7th at Cathead Distillery. We have this little mini festival on May 2nd
which is Clean Up Jackson, which we all want to get behind and support. So again, we go and get our general admission or our VIP tickets where, Richard?
At Wratchet Entertainment. That's WRATCHET WratchetEntertainment.com.
All proceeds go back to cleaning up our capital city, which I think we can all get behind. Well, Richard, I appreciate your time and all the good things you guys are doing. Tell Locke we said hi. Next time he'll have to come visit.
We'll do it.
All right, you guys stick with us. We got more for you up next.